the resources expand as our desires expand. I have to tell you, years ago, I had to sit myself down and be like, I don't understand desire. Like, I kid you not, you guys. I had to sit down and be like, what is desire? How much am I allowed to desire? What should I desire? Right? And all of this was because I didn't trust my own impulses and my own desires. I was immediately judging all of that and saying, no, 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 that's too much. That's guilt. That's inconveniencing others. I remember being probably 4 or 5 years old in a department store with my mother. And I remember all these floors, and we were going down the escalator. We were leaving the building, and my mom was begging me. She was like, do you want anything? Do you want any toys? Anything? And little me was holding so tight, right? And there was a toy I really wanted, but I was like, no, because I have heard plenty of arguments around money. I have heard plenty of stories around money. And so in order to be good, I would adjust my desires, right? And so you having more does not affect anybody else having more or less. In fact, you allowing yourself to have more is between you and your source. It's not depriving anybody, but as I allow myself to have more, what happens is you're actually allowing everybody else around you to see somebody who is coherently organized in their good heart, in their spirituality, who manages their money, who does good with their money, and to say, maybe I can allow for that too, for myself. Because the more we actually allow ourselves to trust what we desire versus call it bad and punish it and shut it down and feel guilty around our desires, we actually expand everybody else's capacity to receive, right? Me expanding my desires expands the availability of that, the manifestation of that, the expansion of everything. That's why I was saying to you, each one of us has a very individual pie to work with. Even though it seems we all share the same pie, it's not the same pie. Because think about it, even though the economy has grown tremendously ever since the Industrial Revolution, and even 100 years before the Industrial Revolution, we still live on the same planet. Nothing has changed, right? And yet we constantly come up with new ways to handle resources, to create more, to have more, to experience more. So the availability gets created based on desire. So what we will find out once we actually clear the guilt and the shame of having is comfort and acceptance of that desire, of our desires. And let me tell you, there's only so many spiritual books I can read, so many Mai Tais somebody can drink by the pool, so many things we can buy, In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is there comes the point where you're like, okay, now let me serve with my money. Let me do good. Let me change the life of my children. Let me generational wealth. Let me change the life of my parents. Let me serve my community. And so that's the dream. That's the goal, right? For us to be examples of people who not only have stepped away from guilt and shame, but are using our money in a way that actually we feel proud of, in a way that actually moves everybody else's understanding and calibrates everybody else ahead as well.